Jensen, it's Keitner. Where are you?
In a well-concealed elevator inside the prison's restricted wing. Your gun-running neural engineer deserves a raise.
I take it the eye worked then. Good. Now listen, if what you say is true, if Burke really is using the prisoners here as lab rats, I need proof. Hard evidence that I can take to Interpol.
An entire prison full of kidnapped civilians isn't enough?
You're an ex-cop, Jensen. You tell me. How many death row inmates crying on about their innocence have you seen getting out?
Point taken. I'll see what I can find. Quite the house of horrors you got here, Doc. You letting anyone in, or just women?
Who are you? How'd you get down here? This is a restricted area.
Obviously. You wouldn't want the rank and file knowing what kind of sick experimentation is going on down here.
No, you don't understand. I'm not...
Where's Burke? And your research partner, Savage?
Burke went back up to the base. And Gary left. Told me to be smart, keep my mouth shut, and do whatever Burke tells me to do. For now.
For now? I heard the three of you talking up there in the morgue. Sounded like you don't exactly fit in here, Dr.
Kavanagh. And who the fuck are you?
The name's Jensen. I came here looking for someone. Megan Reed.
Reed? I've seen her research. Gary thinks it could be the key we're missing. If she can be convinced to come here.
Megan Reed was kidnapped, Kavanaugh. Violently. As was her entire scientific team and the dozens of women you've been torturing down here.
No! You don't understand. I'm trying to save them. Gary and we were sent here to put the OCM project back on track. It wasn't until we got here that we realized what that meant, and by then it was too late.
OCM. Savage used that term in the morgue. What does it mean?
Organic Computational Matrix. It's a means of cross-connecting living brain tissue and artificial intelligence systems to create a supercomputer of unparalleled capability. Part flesh, part silicon.
That's what you're doing down here, turning prisoners into computer parts.
Human brain activity has to be integrated with the technology, or else it won't work. Even DARPA knew that.
What does DARPA have to do with this?
Nothing. Not directly. In 2007, they started looking for research partners to help develop an artificial cognitive science program that could increase a soldier's situational awareness in the field. A number of private sector companies submitted proposals.
Bell Tower being one of them.
No. Bell Tower was a private military corporation. DARPA wanted researchers. But one of the companies who did submit something was a biotech corporation that deals with Bell Tower. And they believed a successful program could be designed if it could be wired directly into the soldiers' brains. DARPA wasn't willing to go that far.
So this biotech company took the idea to Bell Tower.
A corporation that, being privately funded, doesn't have to concern itself with political or ethical debate.
Just how many prisoners are being wired into this thing?
I don't know. But a lot of them don't seem to survive for more than a year. I've told the others there's no way this project can stay viable with these kinds of numbers. But the OCM computers have to have them to work.
Computers? You mean there's more than one of them?
There's several. This is just where the process starts, the factory floor. We select the candidates here, implant them, and ship them to the other locations. It's all very efficient.
Yeah, except your candidates keep dying. You seem to think Megan's research is integral to salvaging this project of yours. Why?
It's not my project. Had I known before I came here...
Right, just answer the question.
We're experiencing cross-systemic failures with the tech. Over time, subjects implanted with OCM augmentations suffer complete neurological breakdown. They pretty much burn up from the inside. Gary thinks it's a problem with the acceptance of the P-dot array.
I've heard that phrase before.
It's the building block of modern neuro-augmentations. Dr. Reed's been reshaping it, changing the way it bonds with living tissue. The mutagenic gene combination she's introduced into it, well, frankly, it's astonishing.
Enough to warrant her kidnapping? So she'd be forced to work on this project with you?
She's not on this project. I don't know what she's doing or where she is. This is the first time anyone's ever mentioned kidnapping.
You're really gonna stand there and try to justify your role in this, aren't you? People are being enslaved, Kavanaugh. Enslaved and crucified.
It wasn't like that at first. I thought we were going to make a difference, do something incredible for the world.
Right. And look how incredible it turned out to be. But you can still make a difference, Doctor. You can help me blow the lid off this place.
Are you insane? I can't. There's too much money invested in this. Burke, the people I work for, they'll kill me. They'll hunt me down and kill me.
I know people who can protect you, hide you. Interpol is just waiting for evidence to tear Bell Tower apart.
It's not just Bell Tower. Oh, God. Oh, God, am I really going to do this? You can't get me out through the prison. Burke would stop us.
Then we'll have to do what Savage did. Take a submersible.
We can't. The hatches to all the docking hangars are locked tight. The only way to unlock them is by using the security console in the prison command tower. Burke keeps an eye on us that way.
Then I'll have to go back up there and unlock it. Well, you gather as much evidence as you can carry.
Oh my God, I'm really gonna do this.
Damn right you are. Now get moving. I'll contact you when I unlock the hatch.
All right, fine. But Mr. Jensen, please, hurry.
Keitner, contact Interpol. We need rendezvous coordinates for a deep-sea submersible.
A what? What exactly have you found, Jensen?
A research complex hidden beneath this base. One of its staff is willing to turn whistleblower if we can deliver her to Interpol using one of the lab's transport subs.
Which explains why you need the coordinates. I'll see what I can do. Keitner out.
Keitner, what the hell's going on? The elevator stopped.
Burke must have intercepted our comms. Get the hell out of there, Jensen. I'll meet you.
Keitner!
We really broke open a hornet's nest, didn't we, Jensen?
It's bad. You need a medic.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Got those coordinates, Jensen. But Burke figured it out. Seized control of the station and locked down the detention camp. Bastard's cleaning house.
I've got to get Kavanaugh out.
Can't. Not until you stop the gas.
What gas?
Burke's enacted a scorched earth protocol to stop the truth from getting out. Poison gas in every cell. Lab 2. Unless you stop it.
Stay with me, Keitner.
There's a circuit board underneath the prison command tower. Directs the flow. Everything's connected, but might be able to redirect. A whistleblower has to live, Jensen. Only sure way we stop this.
Keitner? Keitner!
Tough choice ahead of you, Bratan. The prisoners. Or whistleblower. You can't save both.
What? The hacker from the ship. You've been listening this whole time?
Like Zetka said, everything's connected. Right now, gas is set to disperse evenly between the prison and the lab. All you can do in here is redirect flow out of one area into the other. Do nothing. Everybody dies. Do something.
Somebody dies faster.
Precisely. But if you want to bring down Bell Tower, the choice is clear. A difficult decision, Bratan. But that Gov nuke Burke gave you no choice.
Tell that to the prisoners. You'll have Interpol rendezvous with Kavanaugh's submersible.
As soon as you unlock it, use the touch screen in the security room above you. It will shut off the lockdown, so you can return to the base.
And why would I want to go there?
You lose your head, Chubak. The last thing standing between you and Megan Reed is Burke.
Kavanaugh, I've unlocked the hatch and I'm transmitting the coordinates to a rendezvous site.
Oh, thank God. I thought when the code yellow started.
It's over. Just make sure Interpol gets that evidence. I'm going after Burke. Jensen out.
Subject not...
Corporal Tyler? Or should I say Adam Jensen? That's right. I know who you are now. Keitner wasn't quite as good at hiding her tracks as she thought she was. If you think Kavanaugh's escape changed anything, you're wrong. Bell Tower will track her down. And on the off chance the good doctor does spill her guts to someone, anything she says will be discredited. Still, I admire your ruthlessness. To save the life of one woman, you allowed 100 more to die. That takes strength of will. The Reed woman, this Megan you've been searching for, she's not here. And the only thing standing between you and the ship that could take you to her is me. I underestimated you back on the ship. I won't be doing it again. Well, you made it. I'm torn between admiration and pity. You've condemned me for my actions, Jensen. But look at the lengths you've gone to find one woman. Wasted potential. Although from what I've heard, I suspect you'll still be of use to me dead.
It sounds like your struggles are almost over, Bratan. Is Burke dead?
I'm standing, he's not.
Good. With Burke out of the picture, there's a power vacuum I can take advantage of. Return to loading bay 2. The doors between here and the docking platform will be open for you.
Last time I passed through there, Burke's men were still waiting for me.
Not anymore. Burke has just ordered them away.
Great. Except I came here looking for Megan Reed, Bratan. I can't leave without knowing.
There is a boat heading toward the location as we speak. If you hurry, you can be on it.
Bratan,
Quinn?
I'm afraid our good friend Quinn met with an unfortunate incident during all the commotion and is no longer with us.
Your voice. It was you this whole time. Who are you?
For the moment, I'm between identities. I apologize for the duplicity, but it was a necessary precaution. You had to be kept in the dark.
And Keitner? Did she know?
Commander Keitner's perception was much like yours. Shrouded. She saw what she needed to see, and was told what she needed to hear in order for me to complete the mission.
So we were both pawns. Except she's dead and I'm not. So where does that leave me in your grand design?
We're all pawns in someone else's grand design, Mr. Jensen. But that doesn't make Natanya's death any less tragic. Your actions ensured her sacrifice was not made in vain, however. Dr. Kavanagh made it out safely, and is on her way to the rendezvous site. She will expose the truth in due time.
Keitner wasn't the only one who died back there. Those prisoners.
Will be added to a long list of Bell Tower's atrocities. We will not let them be forgotten. We mustn't stay here much longer, Mr. Jensen, if we hope to get you away from this base.
I still have questions, Quinn, and I want answers. Real answers, no more bullshit.
You really want to waste time chatting, Bratan? Fine. I will answer what I can, but keep in mind you have a boat to catch.
Bell Tower probably has a battalion on its way to clean up this mess. How do you plan on keeping what we did here a secret?
I'm delighted to say that Burke did most of the damage control for us. After requesting a profile search on you, he never explained why he needed it. I believe he wanted to keep control of you to himself. Since that time, we've been monitoring all incoming and outgoing communications, and the lockdown allowed me to discreetly install a tunneler, rerouting the base's network traffic. By the time Bell Tower realizes something is wrong, it will already be too late.
What about the rest of the base personnel?
Most of them think Burke is still in command. Technically, orders continue to be issued in his name, but I'm the one making the calls. I've also taken the liberty of cordoning off this sector of the base. For the moment, at least, we're safe.
Keitner said she had been approached by an agent from Interpol. It was you, wasn't it?
Very astute. When I learned of Commander Keitner's suspicions and insubordinate behavior towards Burke, I saw an opportunity. Pretending to be an agent of Interpol seemed the best way to gain her trust.
You mean you lied? So who do you work for?
A loose network of independent operatives, agents of conversion and equilibrium, who seek to expose corruption and assure humanity's natural progress. In truth, we are not affiliated with any global organization. But then, neither is our enemy, officially.
Your enemy? You're not just talking about Bell Tower anymore, are you? You're talking about
The men and women who pull bell tower strings. The same men and women who ordered them to kidnap Megan Reed. Mr. Jensen, allow me to stop you there, before you say anything that might embarrass us both.
What?
Please. I detected your Cassie augmentation the moment you started to analyze my facial movement for pattern sequencing. Now, pretending you managed to convince me to be more forthcoming with my words. What is it you hope to learn?
Something more tangible than a flowery speech about idealism.
Because I admire your tenacity, I will attempt to satisfy your curiosity. But only if you'll humor me for a moment and answer a question of my own.
Sounds fair.
In Roman mythology, Janus was a god depicted as having two heads, each gazing in the opposite direction, one looking eastward, the other west. Symbolically, this meant many things to the Romans, but I'm more curious as to what it might mean to you.
Seeing into the past and the present. The beginning and the end. Alpha and Omega.
I believe you and I have more in common than you would like to admit. Technically, I suppose there is no incorrect answer. Theologians and philosophers have debated the origin and meaning of Janus for millennia. But in time, that name may take on new meaning for you.
Why? What are you getting at?
While the term invisible war has lost much of its significance due to misappropriation, I assure you, there has never been a better way to describe what is happening in the world. The lives of millions are being decided without a drop of blood ever spilt, but the casualties remain the same. Myself and others are fighting a never-ending battle against forces that seek absolute dominion over our fates.
You're telling me the people running Bell Tower want to rule the world?
Bell Tower Associates is no more than a proxy. Puppets on a global stage. The true enemy hides in shadows, the disembodied hands that pull the strings of Bell Tower and others. This is neither the time nor the place to go into detail, but everything you've witnessed here today is in direct correlation with Illuminati interests.
Roman gods and Illuminati. Wonderful.
You asked for clarity, and I'm being as honest as I can. Whether you choose to acknowledge them or not, lines are being drawn. Most will never be lucky enough to pick a side. But a time will come when you will have to. I have chosen mine.
All right. Where's Megan?
I don't know for certain. But what I do know is that earlier today, Burke issued orders to have a large group of detainees transferred off this base. Supposedly, they will be assisting at another black site facility.
Kavanaugh said this was just the factory floor. You're sure Megan is at this other facility?
Nothing is ever certain in life, Mr. Jensen. But it is the best chance you have. Unfortunately, the cargo ship carrying the prisoners has already set sail. But I took the liberty to send out an urgent dispatch in Burke's name, ordering the ship's captain to hold position until one more detainee could be flown on board. In stasis. A helicopter is en route to pick you up.
Wait a second. You want me to get inside another stasis pod? Last time I got in one of those things, it didn't go so well.
I know it's far from ideal, but frankly, your options are quite limited. Although, I suppose you could try swimming there.
Better be the right fucking boat this time. Because I don't feel like coming back here anytime soon.
Don't worry, mate. It'll be grand. Besides, I thought you Americans liked riding off into the sunset.
It's done. Exactly as you instructed.
And yet you sound disappointed. You think we should have handled this differently?
I think we had a valuable asset in our hands, and we're letting him slip away. He could have been very useful in the coming storm.
A hand does not need to be clenched tightly to maintain its hold on someone. Jensen carries too much baggage right now. His obsession with Reed only serves to distract him.
We could have told him the truth.
He must discover it by himself. And when he does, if you have followed my instructions precisely, we will know how to find him.
Assuming he lives that long.
Pritchard, any chance you're still there?
Jensen, my God. You've been offline for days. Where the hell are you?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I'm pinging you now. You're in Singapore. Something's wrong, Jensen. I pinged you, and a second later I lost your GPL signal. It's like you disappeared into a black hole.
Gotta be a jammer.
Well, obviously. If you can find the transmitter and take it offline, I'll be able to track you. And keep you on a tighter leash.
I've got more important things to do than help you keep tabs on me. If Megan and her team are here, there's no time to waste.
Get the hell out! This lab is off limits to you people.
Nice to see you too, Dr. Goldman.
What? Wait a second. I know you. You were Seraph's security guy. Way to protect our asses.
Hey, check the attitude, Doc. I nearly died trying to save you.
Oh, and now you're here to take me back. Well, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I've got more here than I ever had at Seraph.
Would Vasily Sevchenko agree with that? They executed him and dumped his body in a ditch.
That's not true!
Believe it. Unless these murderers have you so brainwashed, you don't mind building their toys.
It wasn't a toy. It was a software upgrade that limits functionalities in a biochip. They told me it was for crowd control. Is Vasily really dead? You saw the body?
What was left of it?
Oh my God. I should have listened to him.
Dr. Colvin, about the rest of the team. Where are they? Where's Dr. Reed?
Eric and Declan are here and alive, but they try to keep us apart. Dr. Reed is in a secured area, heavily guarded.
Then I need a way to get the guards out. A distraction. Maybe a lab accident, what do you say?
After what those bastards did to Vasily? Of course. But one minor incident in this lab won't be enough.
No, but if a couple of other labs go up, simultaneously...
Declan and Eric. Of course. Interesting idea, Mr. Jensen. Ambitious, but risky. The timing will be critical.
I'll coordinate the attack. But you understand that this could all backfire.
I'm no shrinking violet, Mr. Jensen, but there may be another issue.
They're tracking your GPLs, aren't they? I've been wondering how to get around that.
Smart man. Just like Vasily. He had a plan to shut down their tracking and jamming protocols using a virus. Maybe Declan or Eric know something more about it.
I haven't yet located Eric Koss, Dr. Colvin. Do you know where they're keeping him?
He's working in a lab on the 3rd floor. There's an elevator that might get you there. It's on the 2nd floor, though, and I heard the guards say something about that floor being shut off. But then again, with those neuroenhancements of yours, you might find a way to get into it.
Dr. Faraday doesn't seem to be working in this building. Any idea where he is?
I think he's in the biomech lab next door. But you don't have to go outside to reach him. There's a skywalk that connects the two buildings. Maybe you can use it.
Dr. Colvin, I need to know I can trust you. You seemed pretty happy to be here until I told you about Dr. Sevchenko.
It's been 6 months, Mr. Jensen. Not long for you, perhaps, but how long can a person live in constant fear? Once they took us out of isolation, it just seemed easier to concentrate on the work.
Did all of you feel that way?
Vasily didn't. Maybe not Declan either, but the work we do here, the discussions, and the theories. I thought Seraph's projects were far-reaching, but the experiments I've seen going on here, it's the kind of stuff DARPA dreams up every day.
Only without governmental oversight keeping you in line.
I suppose I'm just a typical scientist to you, right, Mr. Jensen? Blindly pushing boundaries? No care for who's footing the bill or how our discoveries get made?
We all have to live with ourselves at the end of the day, Dr. Colvin.
You're right, of course. But were things so different in Detroit? We all know where those Seraph contracts came from, don't we? You asked me if you could trust me. You can. But you better get on with this.
Okay, wait for my signal, Dr. Colvin. When your GPL starts to vibrate, set off the distraction.
I understand. And I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
What do you want? I told you people not to barge in here. Wasn't the new biochip design enough?
Dr. Koss, I'm here to get you out.
Jensen? From Seraph? But we were told we'd been written off.
Not exactly.
Listen, Jensen. They forced me to work for them. I didn't want to create the new biochip, especially since it was based on Seraph's research, but they didn't give me a choice.
No one doubts your loyalty, Dr. Koss. Do you know what they plan to do with this new biochip?
I'm not sure. They said something about having Tai Young Medical produce it and distribute it through LIM, but I can't be sure.
I know, and I'm here to bring you all back. But to reach Megan, I need you, Colvin, and Faraday to stage lab accidents as a distraction, simultaneously.
Isn't that a little risky? Besides, how will we coordinate these accidents? It's impossible.
Maybe not. But it's that or staying here and eventually ending up like Dr. Sevchenko.
They killed him, didn't they? He kept provoking them, coming up with these wild escape plans. They try to keep us apart as much as possible now. All right, Mr. Jensen. I'm with you. What's our next move?
We need to disable their GPL tracker. I know Dr. Sevchenko was working on something.
Yes, a virus program. We all thought it was too risky considering we had nowhere to go. But I don't have it. You'd better check with Nia or Declan.
Declan, right. Dr. Koss, do you have any idea where they're keeping him?
I might. I overheard some of the guards. I think he might be working in the basement of the biomech labs. But I'm not sure.
Dr. Koss, the bioship you mentioned was based on Seraph studies?
Yes, I believe so. At first I thought it was merely convergent research, but I've worked with Dr. Reed long enough to recognize her handiwork. Besides, I had been working on something similar back in Detroit.
And your knowledge of it made you invaluable here.
At least to a certain extent. It probably helped us all stay alive. But now with Dr. Shevchenko, I guess we've all become expendable. Except for Dr. Reed, I suppose.
Why do you say that?
It's more of a general feeling, I guess. Back in Detroit, we all realized that we were on the verge of something groundbreaking. And here, well, everyone seems to view her research as crucial in some way.
That might explain why she's being held in a secured area.
Possibly. I'm just glad we're going home. It's kind of hard to believe.
Sit tight, Dr. Koss. When you feel a vibration from your GPL, set off that distraction. That'll be the signal.
I will. Good luck, Mr. Jensen. And hurry.
Adam? Adam Jensen? Good grief, lad. What the blazes happened to you?
I made the mistake of surviving. I'm here to get you out, Dr. Faraday.
I told Vasily that Seraph wouldn't stop looking.
Sevchenko's dead, Dr. Faraday. I'm sorry.
I figured as much. One day he was just gone, and they wouldn't say why. We were all afraid, so we just kept to the work. They forced me to create a signal pattern that could broadcast software upgrades directly into a person's implanted circuitry.
Upgrades? That do what?
Whatever instructions have been encoded into them. They said it was to improve efficiency at clinics, but that wouldn't be the only application. Far from it.
I see. Dr. Faraday, we need to free Megan from the isolation zone. I've got a plan to distract the guards. 3 lab accidents.
I like your style, son. And it just might work if you can get Nia and Eric to agree. But timing them to occur at once, that will be the trick.
I'll worry about the timing. For now, sit tight and wait for my signal.
There's one thing you're forgetting, lad. They can track our GPL signals.
I know. But I'm hoping you might have the solution to that problem. Sevchenko's viral program.
Of course! I shouldn't have underestimated you. Vasily gave it to me before he disappeared. Here you are. Upload it onto the central security computer. It will scramble their scanners. I would have done it myself, but I'm just a scientist.
Don't sell yourself short, Doc. Any idea who's behind this, Doc? The kidnapping, the facility?
Not really. Remarkable considering I've been here 6 months. You would have thought someone would let something slip. But if it doesn't have to do with the research, you don't get a word out of them.
Sounds like the guards are well trained. But what kind of threats were needed to stop the other researchers from talking?
Well, there were threats early on just to get us to work. Of course, Vasily saw right through that. Kept saying they needed us. I suppose in his case, the risk outstripped the return at some point. Damn them.
Dr. Sevchenko probably knew the risks and accepted them.
That he did. Go on, lad. Let's put this plan of yours into action. It's time to teach these wankers a lesson.
Tell me, where do I find this security terminal?
Vasily told me there's a tunnel leading to it, near the back of the compound, I believe. But I'm afraid you'll have to explore a bit to be sure.
Once I upload the virus, it'll be time to act. I'll signal you. A vibration in your GPL. Be ready.
Understood, lad. But do be careful.
Your tenacity, Adam Jensen, is really quite irritating. We'd like you to stop now.
I'm afraid I can't, Sal. You see, I figured it out. I know what you and your conspiracy buddies are planning.
Do you? How clever.
A new biochip. A software upgrade that limits what augmentations can do. You're creating a kill switch. You kidnapped Megan Reed's team to do it, and you're seizing control of the market to ensure it gets distributed. All because you're afraid of people like me. Augmented people, with the power to resist you.
No one's afraid of you, Mr. Jensen. All your blundering around and childish interference hasn't stopped a thing. Tell me, have you been to a limb clinic lately?
No!
Oh, yes, Mr. Jensen. You figured out our plans, but not soon enough. Dispose of him, Namir. And this time do it right.
You should have stayed dead, Jensen. Finish it.
Not until you tell me where Megan is.
You've lost her, Jensen. Men like us, we never get back the things we love.
Jaren, is that you?
Not exactly.
Adam? Oh my god, Adam! It's you. You're hurt. What happened?
What happened to you? I risked my life for you, Megan. I came halfway around the world, and for what?
It's not what you think.
Are you part of this?
No! No, Adam, I swear it! The kidnapping was real. The attack on Seraph Industries, they came after me. They wanted my research.
And when did you decide they could have it?
It didn't happen like that. I wanted to tell you, but I couldn't. I couldn't! And then David said we had to use it. We owed it to mankind.
David, what are you talking about?
My great discovery. The genetic framework I found that makes it easier for living tissue to bond with implants. I found it. In you, Adam. I used your DNA. I wanted to tell you, I swear. But David convinced me what it could mean for mankind. How much better off we could all be. It took Hugh to make me see how wrong I was.
Hugh? Hugh Darrow.
He owns this facility. After Namir brought us here...
Pritchard! Patch me into Sarif, now!
Adam, please! He was only pretending to work with Tai Young and the others. He found out what they were planning to do and told them he would help. But only to make sure they never succeeded. Their control signal won't work.
But it does work, Megan. Zhao damn near shut me down.
No. No, that can't be true.
Have I ever lied to you?
I'll reset your software. It'll put things right again. I've insulated your chip to prevent external signals from reaching it. It's something I developed recently using nanotechnology.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sarif here has asked me to show the world how human enhancement technology can change it. After careful deliberation, I've decided I must do exactly that. Forgive me.
He's modified the control signal. Anyone with the new biochip will be affected. Hugh never said anything about this.
I'm going back for the scientists.
No, Adam! I know the complex better than you. I'll find them. There's a hangar bay through there. Get to its control room and retract the roof. Clear a path for us.